Here's what to do if you're losing the should we stack the dip argument with your partner, okay? This is some real insight, okay? This comes from over 10 years of doing Bitcoin with my partner, from watching YouTube that entire time, from listening to all of the different Bitcoin personal finance tips over the years on YouTube and on Twitter. And here's what to do. Here's what to actually do. If you see your checking account balance and you want to buy the Bitcoin dip, but your partner is not on board, okay? Here's what you actually need to do. You need to play the long game. Like, let's throw some like Bitcoiners who like to pride themselves on low time preference, right? Long game and game theory, right? I'm gonna say something, and it's that the never sell movement hurt the ability to get partners on board with Bitcoin, because it makes it confusing. It honestly makes it confusing. On the one hand, you're saying Bitcoin is better money than fiat, Bitcoin is replacing the dollar, all these things, right? But then if you're like, oh, sweet, well, what can I buy with it? Or like, when do we sell back to dollars? Those are basically the same question, okay? What can we buy with it is not saying, oh, like we have to blow all our savings. They're literally just asking functionally, if it's better money than dollars, sweet, how does it work? Same thing, selling back to dollars. Dollars is the main currency used for bringing stuff into your house, okay? That's what someone's saying that hasn't listened to 47 hours of Bitcoin podcast. That's their version of saying, sweet, show me how we can use it, okay? And if you're losing that argument right now of stacking the dip, that's where you lost it. Like, that's where you lost the argument, in that it hasn't been shown as a functional asset in your house to get what your house needs, to get the main stuff that your partnership needs to do all the stuff that your house does. That's what's keeping Bitcoin in this like side hobby bucket on one random app or on the 14 Bitcoin apps that you have on your phone. That's what's keeping Bitcoin from being on your partner's phone or from being more top of mind from them, is that you haven't connected full picture how it can be useful. And sure, like, and then savings is using. Totally. Absolutely. Also, using savings to do something for your house is useful. So I would submit to you this. I would submit to you that if you use Bitcoin, show full circle that Bitcoin can pay your bills or buy you food or do something for you that your partner has on their list, that's going to increase the amount of times that then you have a surplus balance in your dollar balance that feels right for both of you to move into Bitcoin, right? That's what it all comes down to. And that's where it's honestly refreshing to like say that full loop out loud, because that's the loop that never really made it onto Bitcoin Twitter, to be super honest. And that's where OG Bitcoiners were really great at talking about Bitcoin, but they were really bad at talking about personal finance, and they were really bad at talking about kind of like onboarding your family, right? Look, here's a way to mathematically think about it, okay? You know how I always say, like, take it 0.01 at a time, right? Take it 0.01 at a time. So say you bought 0.01 Bitcoin for $100, right? Back whenever. And now 0.01 is going for $800, right? You did it. Like, you literally did it. You did it. You and your partner have been together that entire time. Whatever. Literally swap out any exchange rate in the example, okay? But holding your money in Bitcoin instead of dollars, appreciate it. You like beat inflation. You beat all the monetary inflation. You beat all the frustrating parts of fiat money. You did it. You did it. Okay? And now with that 0.01, whatever the exchange rate is, pulling it back into anything productive in your life is like, that should be honestly such a joy. Like, it should be honestly just such a joy and a awesome moment that you did that. Like, there shouldn't be heartbreak about that. There shouldn't be heartbreak about that. And the fact that we, with our Bitcoin influencers, inserted heartbreak into that was a mistake, honestly. Like, it was a mistake. And it was coming from a place of like, oh, helping people understand how big the opportunity is. Sure. Okay. Yes, I get it. But now here we are, 2025. We all understand it's a big opportunity. We all understand it's a big opportunity. But the big opportunity is from here to the future. So you showing your partner that Bitcoin can be brought back into being productive in your life by ordering food, ordering something on Amazon, paying your bill, anything. Showing the full circle with the money that beat inflation. Your literal financial status is better because of the decisions you made back then, now, today. And then you're proving it out, pulling everything full circle. That's a win. Like, that's a giant win. And it was a giant mistake for us to like insert negativity into that, right? Because now also, your next paycheck, you have the same decision to make. Your next paycheck, you have the same decision to make. Should I hold dollars or should I hold Bitcoin? That has nothing to do with the little bit that you pulled back to do XYZ thing. And that's why, so instead of like having this heartache over like, we should have more Bitcoin, we should have more Bitcoin, we should have more Bitcoin, like show it happening full circle so that we can see, so that the whole family, so that both partners can see that it was functional and it did do something. I talk a lot about how I'm very fired up about like the philosophical, like world-changing aspect of Bitcoin, right? Like I ping pong back and forth between the investment case and the philosophical case. Not everyone has that. Like, not everyone has that. Not everyone's sold on that. And even if they are, not to the same degree. Like, so when your partner feels like you're putting that, like that, the never selling, the philosophical case for like Bitcoin beating fiat above whatever the like personal consumption goals of the household, that's a bummer. Like, that feels like a bummer, and that puts a bad taste in their mouth of Bitcoin. And that it's literally, and I would say that like, until that's solved, Bitcoin is going to have the ceiling. It has an adoption ceiling until that part is solved. More people, more tangential to Bitcoin people have to feel the effects of them beating inflation. It's like the Henry phenomenon. Like, if you're familiar with that on Reddit, like high income earner, not rich yet, high earner, not rich yet. That's what's happening to a lot of Bitcoiners, okay? You have a giant outsized savings compared to your age because you chose a better money than fiat money, which is awesome, which is terrific. It literally set you up to even have this decision right now. But I would say, if you're losing the argument about buying the dip right now, you should look full circle at how you're accomplishing both partners' personal finance goals together.